I'm here in the sunshine of Seville. We've just finished day one of the 2018 travel convention. As usual, it's been a day of very vast range of topics and speakers, looking at what's happening in the world, but really focusing on what we can do with our individual businesses. I kicked off with a very broad overview, but made the point that in a time of great change, there are winners and losers, and it's really important to be able to build trust, which is the theme of this year's convention. First speaker was Rory Sutherland, the Vice Chairman of O&M, the advertising agency. He talked about our being in an efficiency bubble where there's far too much process on efficiency rather than creativity. And for him, the really successful companies are really psychological companies that understand what it is that consumers really want, not just what they're currently doing. He also made the good point, I think, that you can get an awfully long way as a company by being good at not being terrible. That being consistent is really the essence of the brand. He was followed by Sophia Natal, who is an IBM retail customer experience expert. She showed us from a vast range of different sectors how companies are going around building brand loyalty. All sorts of different strategies, including building communities around brands and so forth, that really tie people in. Her point really was that everyone at heart wants to belong. We heard from Philip Wolfe, an American investor in technology companies and the founder of Focusrite. He talked about the awesome power of what he calls the frightful five: Amazon, Facebook, Google, Netflix and Apple, and how they are creating monopoly situations. Very interestingly to me, when asked about whether he thought Amazon would enter or in fact re-enter the travel sphere, he said he was almost certain they would, but that could create opportunities for smaller operators, giving them a platform and access to distribute their product. We heard from Bryony Gordon. Bryony's a columnist for The Telegraph. She's written extensively books and in public appearance and talked about mental health issues, including her own. It was really, I think, refreshing to hear someone talk so candidly and openly about the challenges that are so common and that there will be people in the room who face, and how important it is that the workplace can embrace those, encourage people to be open from the top down, so that the stigma attached to mental health starts to fade. We heard from the British ambassador, who talked very powerfully about the strong partnership that exists between Spain and the UK in terms of tourism and how that will continue in the future, whatever the outcome of Brexit. We returned to Paul Redmond, a speaker from last year from Liverpool University, who spoke very perceptively and amusingly about what he calls the zombie apocalypse, the jobs that are very likely to be no longer in existence because of automation. But on the other hand, he talked about having the skills for the future of adaptability, readiness to change, of the ability to simplify, and most of all, the ability to be creative. We rounded off the day with an expert panel chaired by Lucy Huxley from Travel Weekly, our trade media partner, with industry specialists and also Google. Really interesting to hear their different approaches to how they see the expert in the future. Google obviously trying to dig deeper into really understanding the individual behaviour of customers online, but the more traditional Alistair Rowland from Mid Counties Co-op, Derek Jones from Coerny talking about still really investing in the personal relationships of the travel agent, the super travel agent who knows the product and knows their customers.